Hello children, today we will start the next chapter, chapter number 7, and the name of the chapter is Getting to Know Plants. As you know that all around there are a lot of plants, and these plants are of different height. They're having a different shape, size of flowers, fruit, even the leaves. So when you go in your surrounding, you will find a lot of plants and its variety. Even though there are a lot of plants are existing all around, so today we will discuss about the plants, its parts, and how we are classifying these plants on the basis of their stem, their height, or because of the arising of the branches. So here we will first discuss about the plants, different classification of the plants. We have classified these huge plants into 5 categories. Out of this, the three mains are there. First one is the tree, shrubs, and herbs. So as you know, there are trees. Trees are the tall plants which having a hard and stiff brown branches, which you cannot just hold it with your lap with your hands. Okay, so these are the tall plants. Their trunk is brown, hard, stiff, and it is very tall. On the other hand, when we talk about the shrubs are the medium-sized plants, and the branches arises just above the ground. That means if it is a plant, you will find here is the root, and from this is the shoot part. Shoot part is that which arises above the ground. So this is the shoot part, and from here you will find the branches. Okay, so that means shrubs are those which are medium in size. Second thing, the branches arises just above the ground, and these branches are green or maybe brown, but they are stiff, but not hard or stiff like the tree. On the other hand, herbs, when we talk about the herbs are very small sized plants, and these small sized plants having a very soft and tender stem. Okay, so when we see about the examples of all this, we will find that the trees are the mango, peepal, banyan trees. These are very tall plants. Their branches are huge, branched, and even their trunks are hard and stiff and brown in color, and even you will find the bark outside it. Shrubs are the medium-sized plants, and its branches arises just above the ground level, and their branches are stem and branches are maybe green or brown, but they are not very hard as like trees. Example is the lemon tree, hibiscus plant, that is also known as the China rose, or you can say rose is there. Okay, and herbs are those plants which are very small in size. Its stems is very soft, green, and tender. So these includes all the coriander, mint, paddy, rice, brinjal, potato plants. All this comes in the category of the herbs. So these are the main 3 major categories of the plants on the basis of their size, that means your height, and on the basis of their branches, their appearance, we have classified. Along with this, you will find some of the plants like grapevine, bitter gourd, cucumber, watermelon plants. They don't upright itself. That means it need a support. So there are some of the plants which can creep over the ground. That means one whose stem is very weak, soft, and it can't uphold itself. So these plants are known as a creeper. Creeper means one who can creep over the ground because its stem is very soft, and due to which it cannot be uphold or withstand itself. Example of creeper is the pumpkin, watermelon, muskmelon. So all these are the creepers, that means which can creep over the ground due to weak and tender stems. On the other hand, climber. Climber is those plants whose stem is also weak, but it can be grow with the support of the any other supporters, maybe the wall, maybe the roof, maybe the tree, or maybe any wood log. So it can be climb over it. That means it can be just wind around that supports. So I have one of this. This is a money plant. You can see this money plants, it can't withstand. You will see this common ornamental plant at home also, and when it grow in a pot, you will find that it will be spread, and we put some sticks to support that, and so that it can be, or we can just tie a rope so that it can be unwind with the thread and it will be grow uproot. Okay, so this is the example climber, that is a money plant is also a climber, bitter gourd is a climber, okay, grapevine is a climber. So this is the main categories. Now next is the stem. What is stem? The stem is the part which is existing between the root and the branches. So this portion, this is the stem which is arises between the root and the branch part. Okay, so this is the stem. And what is the function of the stem? Stem helps to hold the whole plant. It holds the flower, it holds the fruit, it holds the branches, it holds the leaves also. Along with this, it provides the anchoring or hold the plants, as well as it helps to conduct the water and minerals from the soil. Now, water and mineral is absorbed by the roots, by the soil, and when it is taken by the roots, it is just taken and given to the stem. So stem is a conductor, that means it conducts the water and minerals from the soil. Okay, so this is the main functions of the stem, that means it helps to support the whole part of the plant, as well as it provides the conduction of water and minerals from the soil. In the simple sense, mineral is also known as nutrients, the nutrient that is required by the plant. So this is a function. One of the activities given in your book, that what you have to do, you have to take any colored water. So I have already done this in the morning. This is a glass. In this glass I have added water and some food color. So its color changes into a little pink in color. Then I have taken this Catharanthus plant, and I cut this stem obliquely or diagonally, and after that I have dipped it for 2 to 3 hours. After that you have to keep this setup in a sunlight for 2 to 3 hours. You will find that after some time that red, because I have taken the red color, instead of that you can also use the ink color like black ink or blue ink also, and make a colored water. And it is better to take the white flour, so it will be appear more. So you will find that in these leaves, in the morning these leaves are pure green in color, but now you will find that at the outer side there is a red appearance. Okay, so this is the red appearance of the leaves. So what it shows, that means these stems help to conduct. So here is the water, and that water is conducted by the stems and it is sent to the leaves and the flowers. Later on in the flower also you will find a light patches of red color too. Okay, so this experiment, this activity shows that the stem conduct the water and minerals from the soil. So it is an important part of the plant. Now next move on to the leaf. Now what is a leaf? Leaf is the flattened literal part of a plant which is connected with the stem. So this is the stem region, and by which it is connected like this. Okay, so now what is the function of the leaf? Leaf plays an important role. First thing is that it having a pigment that is known as chlorophyll, due to which its color is green. Got it? And this green color is due to the chlorophyll, and it plays an important role because it traps the energy of sunlight and helps to do the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of preparing food by the leaves with the support of water that you get from the roots. From the sunlight they get a light, and from the air they get the carbon dioxide. So with the combination of these three, these leaves are able to prepare their food. Okay, and these green pigments, why they having a green pigments? Because green pigment, that is chlorophyll, has the capability to trap the light of the sun. Okay, it trap the more light. So when you see the plants, I have just collected some of the plants like this. You will find here this is a leaf, and this is having a patches. You will find a light yellowish patches in it. In this also this is a yellowish patches. Now you can see that these plants are the ornamental. Ornamental plants are those plants which are used for the decoration. It never give any food to us, any useful material, but it is only for the showcase or for the decoration. Rest of the thing like this, if you see the leaves of this is also green in color. But you will find that no two plants having a same green color. Some are dark, some are light, some are little bit olive in color. So why it has happened? That means all the color is not same green in color. So there is a combination. It shows as a pigmentation, that is a chlorophyll. If the quantity of chlorophyll is more and more, then the appearance will be darker. Along with the chlorophyll, there are some more pigments are also existing here, and these pigments are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and xanthophyll and carotenoids, due to which the other color is also appear. You will find some of the ornamental plants which are brown in color. Okay, now when we talk about the structure of the leaf, leaf has a three parts. First part is the leaf base. Leaf base is that part which is connected to the stem. This is the leaf stalk, which in the term is known as petiole. So this is the petiole, this is the leaf base, and this part is known as the lamina. And when we see, practically when we see, this is the petiole part, and when it is connected with the stem, this is the leaf base, and this is the lamina. This broader part, green part, that is the lamina. And in this part, you will find that one of the center dark strip, that is a midrib, and this midrib is further divided into the veins and the veinlets. So when you see closely, you will find a small veins just moving nearby the midrib. Okay, so this part is known as a midrib, and this branch veins, and these veins are further divided, that is known as the veinlets. Okay, so this is all about the structure of the leaf. The leaf has having the three parts. One is this is the leaf base, from where it is connected to stem. This is the petiole, and this is the lamina. And this lamina having a leaf having a midrib, and midrib with the vein and the veinlets. Now when we see the setup of the veins and the veinlet, it is of, we can just form the two type of venation. Venation is the arrangements of vein in a leaf. Okay, arrangements of veins or veinlet in a leaf is called the leaf venation, and it is of two types. When you see closely to it, you will find that there is a one midrib, and they are further divided. And when we see closely, we find a small fine veinlets are also existing, and it form a web-like structure, web-like or net-like structure. That venation, that arrangement of veins is known as reticulate venation. On the other hand, some of the plants are there whose leaves having a, like I have taken the grass, they having a vein. One is the midrib, and other veins which are just moving side to the midrib, that are parallel. Okay, so this is the parallel venation. That means on the basis of venation, it is of two types: parallel venation and the reticulate venation. So in the parallel venation, we find the midrib. In the parallel venation, we find the midrib, and along with this, these veins are parallel. But on the other hand, in reticulate, we find the midrib, then these are the veins, and when they are further divided, these are the veinlets. So this one is the reticulate, and this one is the parallel. So in the grass, paddy, and wheat, maize, you will find the parallel venation. Now next is the transpiration. Now what is transpiration? Transpiration is process of losing of water from the leaves. That is known as transpiration. So we can do this activity with it. You just take one potted plant. This is also an activity. Take a potted plant and take one transparent polyethylene thread. Tie the one branch which carries at least 7 to 8 leaves, and bind it with the polythene and tie the thread in it. And take another branch and just pluck out the leaves. Okay, remove the leaves. When you just remove the leaves and then wrap the polythene and just tie it with the thread, and keep this setup, this potted plant, in a sunlight for 2 to 3 hours. And after 2-3 hours, you will find see the observation. You will find that poly which is carrying this leaves, you will find the small droplets of water in it. On the other hand, when you see in this part, in the bee setup where there is no leaves, only the branch is there, you don't find any water. So what it shows that the water losses from the leaf, that is a transpiration. That means this part, the midrib, the veins, the veinlets, what it does, it mostly transport the water and minerals, and when it comes toward the sunlight, the water get evaporated. We can't see in the open, but when you wrap that area, when you just cover that area with the polythene, you will find the small droplets are assembled in the pollen. So this is the process of transpiration. Along with this, you will find that on the surface of the leaves and the upper and lower side, you will find a small opening that is known as stomata. that stomata is very important for exchanging of gases as well as the water. Okay, so this is all about. Go through this chapter. Next topic we will continue tomorrow. Thank you.